I will always be angry at my ex-girlfriend of 4 years for what she did to destroy our family. Never thought I'd use Reddit to post one of my stories, but here goes nothing. My now ex-girlfriend cheated on me twice, then decided to break up the family. January 2020 was when I first started dating my girlfriend. Things went really well at first, as most relationships do in that honeymoon phase. We got our first dog after about 9 months from her aunt and uncle, and our second dog about 2 years into our relationship. Those dogs mean the world to me, and I'll never that time and experience with them for anything else in the world. I really love and miss my dogs. I always took time out of my day to go outside and play with my dogs. They were always so happy every time they were with me. I spent a lot of time taking care of the dogs while my girlfriend was out doing things in town on her own, whether it was a girls' night out, spending time with her family, whatever it was. I was always willing to take care of the dogs while she was happy doing her things. So the real story ultimately starts back in August 2023. My girlfriend and I have been going through a lot together. Things have been getting very toxic over the last few years, fighting every day, holding grudges against each other, all that kind of stuff in a toxic relationship. Everything gets worse when her uncle passes away. I understand she was going through a lot, and I knew I needed to be there for her in any way possible. After her uncle passed, she stopped taking her medications without talking to me about it. She was diagnosed a few years ago with severe depression, anxiety, PTSD, and a few other things. In the middle of September, I work a double shift on a Saturday. Tensions between me and her have been getting pretty bad by now, as things are still toxic. A few hours before my shift ends, she starts texting me hints that she's going to break up with me. She said things like, "We had a lot of great memories," or "I want you to think of all our happy memories together." This sends me into a panic at work, and I was able to go home early that day, as things were pretty slow. I call her and tell her everything's going to be okay, and let's talk things out first, as I rush home. I finally make it home, and run into my room to see that everything is packed, and is on my bed. I beg for her to change her mind, and to please stay home while we work things out. Her mind was made up. For this next week, I was absolutely miserable. Couldn't eat, sleep, focus, anything. All I wanted at this point was a last chance. I broke down in tears as I apologized to her for my actions. She told me she needed more time. I saw her all throughout that week, buying her flowers and spritzers every day, saying hi to our dogs since she has them both. We were even saying "I love you" to each other. So we continue to work things out, and things are going a lot better. We were talking a lot more as the week went on. I even got to watch the dogs for her. We agreed on a date on a Friday. Things went very well, and when we made it back to my car, I opened her car door and made my way back to my seat. I surprised her with flowers that night and asked her if she wants to be my girlfriend as we work things out. She says no, and that she needs more time. I'm obviously blindsided by this, but I understood her decision and took her home. Then, with some late last-second changes of plans, we hang out again on Saturday. At the end of the night, she says she wants to go back home and stay the night with me and work things out. During the drive home, she tells me that she never viewed us as broken up, and that we were just taking time apart. Later during that drive, I asked her if during that week, if she talked to any guy, slept with anyone, anything, that this is her chance, guilt-free, no grudges, nothing to confess now, so that there's no surprises later. She tells me nothing happens, remember this. We make it back home, work things out, and had a fun night. Fast forward to November, we're in another fight, for stupid reasons like they always are. The entire time, I'm trying to de-escalate the situation and ask her how we work things out so we're both happy. She wasn't interested in working things out at the moment, and at first, she wanted to break up again because she wasn't good enough for me. I tried to explain to her that she is amazing and all I ever want in life is her, and I don't want her to feel that way. She decided she just wanted a few nights to herself at her mom's. No breakup, just a few days away from each other. For the entire night, and the next morning, she is not answering back to my messages. I go back home from work, and as I'm pulling onto the road I live on, I see her car pulling out of her ex-boyfriend's house. I'm in complete shock. We stop on the road, look at each other, as she proceeds to follow me home to talk. She knew she messed up, but she claimed nothing happened between her and her ex, and that he was with a different girl that night anyway, and she was in the spare bedroom. The way I see it, she lied to me about where she was, and she spent the night at her ex's house behind my back. To me, that's cheating. She promises it will never happen again, and she will be better for me. I tell her I'd be happy to work things out with her, but express to her that anything like this happening again would result in a breakup. And if there's anything from her story that is later proven to be a lie, we would be done. She agrees. Fast forward to Tuesday, the day after Christmas. I just finished making her a really nice breakfast as we just have a morning to ourselves. She tells me that she has a confession to make and I'll probably want to break up with her. I'm feeling uneasy now, but I ask her to go on. She tells me that in September during our break, she cheated on me by sleeping with his ex while we were working things out. I tell her that I didn't appreciate being lied to, but I do forgive her and we will be okay. She's lied to me twice now, so that trust is broken, so I do some investigating behind her back to uncover the truth from the two incidents in September and November. There was this girl she claims was with her ex on that night in November, so I reached out to her through Instagram, just asking if she was there that night, no pressure of answering, apologizing for this being out of the blue, but I explained to her that my GF lied to me twice, and I really don't know what to think, so a yes or no answer would be greatly appreciated. She never responded. She complained to that ex who she was apparently dating starting Christmas. That ex then complained to my girlfriend about how my actions are ruining his relationship. My girlfriend calls me, just screaming at me for ruining their relationship and destroying our trust. I told her that I have every right to do investigating after you cheated on me twice, and that her actions are what's ruining our relationship, so she shouldn't be worrying about her ex's relationship. Later that night, she told me we're done and she wants her stuff out by the end of the week. 3 days later, I haven't eaten since that breakfast Tuesday morning. I've thrown up 12 times, barely got any sleep. I've been miserable, but I know what I did was right. My girlfriend made selfish mistakes. She isn't willing to take accountability for her own actions. She's playing the victim card, and now she's breaking up our family of 2 dogs over this. I wouldn't trade my time with the dogs for anything else in the world. I love them so much and I miss them a lot. I don't want to see them right now because it's just going to make me think of her and it's going to fill me with anger. I hate the fact that she made a selfish mistake and won't understand the severity of it while taking the 2 dogs with her during this breakup. Our first dog came from her aunt and uncle, and the second one from her best friend. I actually ran into her aunt and uncle yesterday. We were supposed to have plans today and they asked me if I was excited. I had to break the news to them. They told me that they still love me and they left crying. As of right now, I'm still miserable. I still can't eat because I'm throwing everything up. I can't focus at work. I can't sleep. I'm just really upset at her for her actions and then breaking up the family after that. The dogs don't deserve this and I feel really bad for them. I even had the ring ready and I was going to propose to her in a month. I know the best thing for me is to just cut ties and focus on my life and what makes me happy. It's just really hard right now. It's probably going to take a long time for me to move on from this, but I feel like I will forever resent her for her actions. TLDR, my ex-girlfriend of 4 years cheated on me twice and broke up our family, taking our 2 dogs with her. Should I get back with my partner after she cheated? Okay, so I know people will probably accuse me of being insecure or whatever, but hear me out. I have only had one sexual experience, when I was 17, and it was short and awful and with someone horrible in every way, and I didn't even fully consent. I was waiting to find the right person, but due to a variety of reasons, I couldn't. When I got back into uni after a break, I met this gorgeous girl who I immediately fell in love with. She was everything I could have possibly wanted, and having been single for quite a long time, I was ravished by the fact that she liked me back, albeit after a lot of trying and courting because she did initially friend-zone me given that I wasn't physically the type of guy she had dated in the past. When we got together, it was amazing, and when she wanted to have sex, I got so happy because she was the first woman I think I actually felt like I loved and the first woman in 5 years that I actually was physically involved with. Here's the thing though, I told her I didn't want to rush into sex, so we both agreed we'd wait until a certain day we both agreed upon. The day before that happened, we were both still very much into each other and were still excited. This hole, whom we will call Damien, hit on her and she told me about it. She fell in love with him and told me about it. I didn't handle it the best way, and of course, she blocked me the next day. Soon after she did unblock me and we got back to being friends, but there was so much damage done. She didn't want to be unfaithful to Damien, so she said she didn't want to be anything more than friends with me anymore, and immediately started sleeping with him. She went to this yearly festival I had been waiting all month to ask her out the weekend, 2 days after he hit on her, and even started going out with him in public, something she refused to do with me. Granted, he is very tall, white, and very handsome, from Eurocentric standards, and I am none of those things, haha, so I get why she didn't want to be seen out in public with me even after 3 weeks of being with me, but she was fine doing it with him after a day. Anyways, after 2 long happy months of being with her, Damien found out that she cheated on him with a third guy, and so he just dumped her and found another girl within a week, something I don't have the luxury of doing, unless I want to wait another 5 years, which I just don't have the strength to do anymore in light of my crippling loneliness, haha. Anyways, she over the last 3 months has caused me immense grief because she kept trying to get back into my life, and I'm at a point where I have finally accepted that I'd rather have her part of my life than spend the rest of my time here in college being single and depressed. I've been doing it for 4 years, I just can't stand being alone anymore. Anyways, my question is, do you think it would be unwise to try to get back into a relationship with her given that she's still the same person that cheated? For further context, she has had 10 partners in the last 18 months, and I have had one in the last 5 years. And she often brings up those partners and how amazing her experiences were, and she has even sent unwanted photos of her in bed with some of these partners, and it has caused me inconceivable amounts of panic, and it continues to do so. Even though now she respects my boundaries more. Fact is, knowing she has had so much sex in the 3 months we've been apart when in my head I thought we were supposed to be together has eaten me away and continues to do so, but someone told me that I should just accept that people have a sexual past. I'm sure I can come to terms with that and her cheating eventually, but do you think it can cause me greater harm than good by being in a relationship with this person? And yes, I'm confident she will cheat again, but I love her, and given how cursed I've been in my dating life, I will not have in the next decade of my life anywhere close to the kind of easy access to partners she or Damien has had in the last year. I just want to go through with just one good college relationship with someone I actually find attractive before going out into the workplace. Thanks for reading, if anyone does read this, and I appreciate all your advice.